Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. The slant.
Yeah, but isn't this the unplugged version? I don't know. I think it's the unplugged version. All right, Polly, let's go. All right, listen, y'all. Just go ahead and let the guest play. Come on, jeez. That's better. Gotta go.
Good evening. Welcome. Hello. Welcome to the Latino Slant and to a very special panel and discussion where we live in a world now where everything is a stereotype and it is negative and it is racist and it is wrong and it's going to be canceled and it's going to be erased or else. And that's it. That's the end of the panel. I'll see you guys later. My name is Polly, like I said. Please share the link that is out there. And I want to thank Darth Haster, Clobbering Times, the Wrenches for showing up and helping us out. We're going to have a good hour and a half show. And we know you have a lot of choices right now to check out, but we figured this is a great time for this panel to get together and for your voices as well to be heard. I got this hat a couple of years ago from my pops, and him and his brothers, they got hats like this. And if you see my tall ass Theo, he's like 6'5" with tats all up and down his arms, and he's always, Raiders gear y todo. You're like, would be, damn, I do not want to mess with that guy. Let me tell you something. As hard as he looks, he's one of the coolest, most giving, beautiful persons, Theo that I know. And yet, he embodies a stereotype. Whether he's called a Chicano or a cholo, that is what he is. And he loves it and he embraces it. That's part of what we call Chicanismo. Ow! It's a great thing. So there's been some interesting kind of news and commercials, and I actually think it's a very healthy sign that we are seeing some major companies actually, marketing with the Chicano culture. I think it's beautiful. I was in fear that our culture was gonna slowly disappear and become invincible. But before I continue, I want to say hello to some beautiful people in the chat. My man Reggie, and Reggie may come on later on. Stephanie, just stopping by to say, hey, well, Stephanie, if you guys want the latest news on Star Wars and what's going on from a woman that gives it to you pure, raw, and simple, no bullshit, subscribe to Stephanie's channel. She is amazing. Love her. Geeks enjoy Neurotica. Oh, Steph. Hey, thanks a lot. We got a $3 super chat. And Stephanie says, hey, how's it going? Well, Steph, you know what? Muchísimas gracias. It's going. We're just getting warmed up. I'm going to bring on this beautiful panel in a second. But let's give Stephanie a little La Bamba. Bye, La Bamba. Muchísimas gracias, Stephanie. Thanks, blushing. What up, Black Phillip Alvarez? What up, Polly? What's up, Vato? I hope you enjoy this panel. Let's not wait any longer, man, because these are exciting times with some exciting men. We got Brandon, Lauren, Maxwell from the Daily Chela. What's
How
up?
you doing?
Good, man. You caused all this.
I did not come up with that backdrop.
Which one?
The everything is racist. I was joking.
Oh, yes. Well, that's me. Hey, I got to get him in here. You know what I mean? We have filmmaker Kenneth Castillo.
How's everyone doing?
We're good, man. We're good. And we got your movies here. I've been giving away some of the short films. People are loving you, man. If you guys get a chance, actually, we have shows where I'm just interviewing Brandon and Kenneth by themselves. I've been talking about you guys with the fandom all week long, and really like the insight that you guys bring to the Latino and the Chicano culture, man. It's just you guys got it. So welcome to your casita.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Got it, man. You got it. And from Midnight's Edge Espanol, we have Pablito and Diego, also too from South America.
Hola.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, is that how you say Diego? Hi, everybody. He's all like, where's your fedoras, guys? Come on, this is a brown council, cabrones. This is like, you got to represent la raza cultura.
You hot.
It's still not cold enough for Chuyo, so don't look at me.
Yeah. So okay, good. It's good to see people in the chat. Please share this link. 12 people in the chat. We got a bunch of likes. It's amazing because there is a big ass show going on right now. And the fact that we have anyone here is wonderful. And Rick Sanchez, PhD. Okay, so let's get right to it.
Yes.
Let's share the screen. And from the Daily Chela, does anyone know who runs this site?
Yeah, not sure. I guess some guy that was on the stream sometime.
Why everyone loves Chicano culture except its critics. By
Yes.
Brandon, Lauren, Maxwell. Look at that. So let's play the commercial. But Brandon, give me like a sentence or two. What is this all about? Like real quick, as far as the video we're gonna see.
Well, 7-Eleven dropped an ad featuring a bunch of Chicanas on lowrider bikes, drinking big gulps, and that was the ad. I think it caught some people by surprise, but a lot of people liked it. But like anything that has to do with Chicano culture, there's always debate. There's always critics. It's a culture that you either love it or you hate it, and so naturally the ad has opened up a few discussions, and that was why I decided to write the column.
Let me make sure, because it is an article, I want to make sure I share the audio. You guys have any first impressions real quick before we see this?
I mean, when I saw it, or go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
I was going to say, when I saw it, I loved it. I thought it was just super stylized, super cool. And the first thing I thought was like, I know a Latino wasn't given the opportunity to do this, but I didn't care. I just thought it was so cool, and I thought it was such a celebration of Chicano culture. And I was waiting to hear the critics, but I'm starting to see them be more and more quiet these days, because you have people like Brandon out there writing about it, making intelligent points about why this isn't stereotypical. You have someone like me who has been out there defending my genre, defending my culture, defending my movies, and a lot of it comes from within our own communities. You know what I mean? It's just like they want to equate everything that is urban and Chicano as stereotypical, and it's just not an automatic thing like that. So I really liked it a lot. Okay,
everyone in the chat, we're gonna check this video out, this commercial out. Then I want to come back. I actually want to do a quick definition of what a stereotype is, and then we can kind of just dig into the story that Brandon wrote. Does that sound cool, guys?
For sure.
All right, here, let's check out the commercial. This is a 7-Eleven. Take it to 11. Here we go.
Hold the presses, roll a second, keep the game close to my heart, my precious. Overtime tends to get overzealous. When the moment's mine, I'm gonna oversell it.
I mean, this thing is breathtaking. I mean, I love it.
Yeah, I thought it was a really well done ad. My only problem with it is the music choice.
I was gonna ask about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is that in the article?
No, I just I didn't think about mentioning it in the article, but yeah, that if there was something that I could change about it, it would have been a different artist probably. But
So-
I thought it was a good. I mean, it was shot well, and I thought that this is Chicano culture, Chicana culture portrayed in a very positive light, in my opinion. I mean, they're buying big gulps. I don't see anything negative about it.
I mean, who doesn't buy a damn big gulp? But it's all women. It's all Chicanas, and they're on these tricked out lowrider bikes, and they have a great. The fashion seems to be right in step. It's not too not too Hollywood as far as it being too flared up. Kenneth, Kenneth, you already told me what you thought. Pablito and Diego.
Okay, I got only one question. How's the drink not spilling when she is riding that bike? Because it's already tipped to her side, but then she's doing one-wheelers and everything, and dude, two 7-Eleven cups gotta be amazing.
Lowrider bikes are very
magic.
bumpy. Very bumpy.
Yes.
Right.
So it's probably a little bit of TV magic right there.
Yeah,
Did you know
exactly.
Diego?
Yeah, in my case, I really like the whole concept of the video, and it's like it seems weird for me that there's actually like criticism when, as they say, it's a bunch of girls, Chicanas over there. It's like a bit of. It should have, in theory, made it more critique proof in that sense for that group of people who are always complaining. Okay, but it's also the same time. It's like I like it because it sort of celebrates a culture that is part of the U.S. one way or another. It's helped, and it's like it annoys me that people want to comment on it when it's just a very well made commercial that's taking advantage of something that's typical USA in many senses of the word. So it's like this is U.S. culture in its bare essence for me in many senses.
I love this from Black Phillip Alvarez. I think the song is the stereotype.
Okay,
I would say it's inaccurate, right?
Something that Diego said is really important. Chicano culture is U.S. culture. If you see in Latin America, in Mexico, in different countries, we see Chicano culture it's different from Latin American culture as a whole. They have, more flamboyant dresses. They get a lot of bling, for a lack of a better term. Is different from what you see in Latin America. We kind of try to go more for a more classic cholo style. I don't know if you get the style, but yeah, more somber, more practical, and this is just flamboyant. This is flashy. This is the youth, the people taking things to another level. That is something.
I want to play it one more. Nicely said, Pablito. I want to play it one more time. I want to read some comments from the chat. We got a lot of wonderful people in the chat. Thank you guys so much. We're gonna get to your comments, and then I swear, Brandon, we're gonna read your article. But and Brandon and Kenneth, man, to their credit, brought this up yesterday, and I was like, oh man, I want to stream about this. We got this week has been great with John Leguizamo calling out the Academy. First looks at the Ricky Ricardo movie, the West Side Story. It's been a nice active week for us here at the Latino Slant, and we're so happy that you guys are joining us in the chat. Say hello to everybody. Let's play this video one more time for everyone, and then we're gonna get to the story. Sounds good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll say this. Yeah, the song, now that Brandon mentioned it, the song is pretty inaccurate. Yeah. All right, here we go.
Hold the presses, roll a second, keep the game close to my heart, my precious. Overtime tends to get overzealous. When the moment's mine, I'm gonna oversell it.
I mean, I love it. I love it. I mean, except for the music.
Yeah,
I think
it could
it's
have been
bad.
worse though. It could have been like they could have put Bad Bunny on there or something like that.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Please don't. Please
Wow.
But back to the column.
Brandon going out West Coast, East Coast. That's hilarious, man. Let's say hello to some Darth Haster. I do not know what to make of it. All right. The great Nina Infinity. Hey, what's up, girl? Rick Sanchez, it's fine. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna stop being racist right after this stream. Rene Delgado. Hey, it's Krusty Moco. I retired the tag. Why, hombre? Why the hell would you ever retire Krusty Moco? That is the name of all names. I'm so upset. I'm so pissed off right now.
Also, the Cantinflas picture.
Yes. Stephanie says, I think it's just reaching out to parts of the USA's culture. And, you know, Stephanie, like, I think Stephanie's here in LA. So what do you think of that? Because I'm sure you see a lot of Chicano and Cholo culture here in Los Angeles. So, yeah, Soul Assassin from Texas. He's a Tejano guy. Dickie shirts, Dickie pants, and high tops. Nice. And Kenneth and Brandon, if you ever got something to say, please don't hold back. Robert Zardeneta, sorry. What is the point of this commercial? The looks are very dated. No one from the neighborhood looks like this. Ooh.
I would like to know what neighborhood he lives in because
I know Robert. If it's the same Robert I'm thinking of, actually, I shot my first film in his home. Is that you, Robert? I haven't seen you in a while.
It would be one of your friends, hombre.
I haven't talked to him in years, but he's he lives in Boyle Heights. I don't know if he still lives there.
Is that's how you sell at your friends, dude? You cancel them out that quickly, Kenneth?
I don't think it's his thing.
Man, we're not with cancel culture, is it?
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's his genre. If it's the Robert I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Okay. Teach for Justice. Where are those bikes from?
You know what? I'll say this. I wish that we had a woman on the panel to offer some feedback on this, because I know a fair amount that work in media that really liked this, including Michelle Mercante, who I quoted in the column. But I also know that all the women that were involved in the commercial are really involved in the lowrider community, right? They're not actresses. So I know that these are people who are always involved in doing pictures in lowrider shows and stuff like that. And I have a hard time believing that this person has never come across anyone dressed in Dickies living in East LA. I mean, I had dinner with a bunch of guys in East LA just last weekend who were all in Dickies. So I don't know, different crowds maybe that different people run with. I don't know. Yeah. But I mean, I know that it's got its pockets, you know, around the US. It's an incredibly popular culture. There's a reason why Facebook just ran an ad targeting the same thing, targeting this culture. They have all the analytics that we don't have access to, and they know that some of the biggest groups on Facebook are people that are involved in champion Chicano culture, fashion, music, cars. And on top of Facebook, you also had Modelo that recently did an ad.
Now,
cartoon.
Real quick, this is just but a facet of Chicano culture.
Absolutely. I don't think that's the problem that some people make. It's like this particular piece is not representative of all Chicano culture. Certainly, I mean, there are parts in Los Angeles where there are Chicanos that don't recognize, this style or this brand, and that's cool too. My only point is it's not negative, and it's not stereotypical. It's a celebration of a certain aspect of Chicano culture, and that's what's great about this whole thing that you got going here, Polly, is that we have Latin America influence. We have people all over the country are reacting differently to the piece. Some people don't get it, and maybe it's not for them. Some people like myself, I really dig it. Brandon likes it, and some people are like, I don't understand it, but I think it's cool, and I think all of that is totally fine. I think where I get upset is when people start to say that it's a negative portrayal or we're tired of these types of stereotypes depicting Chicano culture, and I'm kind of like, we're not, and you're not making an overall judgment with one piece, just like I don't with any particular movie. I'm never saying this is how we all are, and I think that's part of the problem.
There's something that I'm reading in the detractors of this ad, and they are saying that this is popularizing poverty on the Chicano. Just a little thing to say. One of those bikes is a chopper. That bike gotta cost at least 10 grand. Just directly 10 grand. It's an old chopper. You cannot be poor and dress like that and ride those bikes. It's a different way of dressing yourself. It's not a classical American, but it's a new American, and these are the youth of America. These are, there's something as American as a burger, Chicanos, directly. They are part of the culture, and this is how they choose to dress, how they choose to showcase their wealth or their culture or whatever the factor they decided to showcase in their dressing is that. It's not about poverty, it's not about being lesser, and that's what people are trying to say in the comments of the ad is completely wrong.
Well, part of the reason people forget.
Diego. I'm sorry, guys. I want to hear from Diego real quick.
Unmute yourself, man.
Unmute yourself, hombre. Oh,
sorry.
My God.
I got a boomer moment. Was watching Gary too much before. I was gonna say, no. The fact is, like how Pablo said, that how Chicano culture is part of the U.S. and also the fact that how he said it's like they don't understand the culture in general. There's like certain markers in culture that are like to be of that, or to basically represent something like these girls are. They're representing some of the most characteristic elements per se. It's things that are too difficult to just be a day-to-day thing. It's like, for example, let's see, how can I put it? Like, for example, here in Peru, okay, if you want to be the most Peruvian person you can be, okay, you usually have to be somebody from the upper classes to be able to actually do those kinds of things, because part of our culture is, for example, the pachamanca, which is not how we prepare food underground, and something that's very expensive to do because you gotta know how to do it. You gotta know what the meats and the whole process. Also, the whole idea that most people here still believe in the idea of going to the countryside. That again, that's we call it as a hobby for the upper classes. It's sort of there are elements in our culture that if you want to be the most Peruvian, unfortunately, you have to also be part of the you have to have the cash to show the world what you are. It's like you have to be. You put your money where your mouth is. You come and say, exactly. This is me. This is my culture. Yes. These are my people. And you have to do it in such a way that has to be as flamboyant as possible. And that costs a lot of money.
Okay, so let me back up here. Wait, let me just say something. Yep. First of all, none of this has anything to do with trying to show off money. And you got to remember that a lot of the stylistic elements with Chicano culture, from the cars to the fashion, was precisely to elicit a reaction, was precisely to be flamboyant, yes. And was to stand out. Now, when you look at lowriders in the 1940s and stuff like that, you were taking the cars that you had, fixing them up, going low and slow, the complete opposite of every other American that was going fast at the time. If you look at the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you know, it's not expensive to wear a white tank top with Dickies. Part of the reason why they wore those things, right? It was how you stood. It was how you carried yourself. Today, with the internet, lowriders, cars, Impalas, things like that are off the charts in terms of prices. But that's a result largely of the globalization of Chicano culture and has less to do with Chicano culture itself. So I want to make that distinction that now you have people from all over the world that will pay for this style, pay for the tattoos, things like that. And I mentioned that in the column. But that has nothing to do with the culture.
Let's get to it. Well, the question was that you can be working class and put a lot of money into your cars and bikes, correct?
Well, a lot of these cars take 12, 13 years to put together. I mean, my buddy just finished his car. He's not a rich guy. He lives in the Bay Area, and I think he started working on his car in 2012. I mean, it's a hobby.
Yeah. Well, we're in for a treat. Everyone in the chat, you guys have been giving us some really great comments. And at any time, Kenneth or Brandon, if there's a comment you want me to highlight, please let me know, because everyone's going off. Nina lives in Mexico, even though she's Persian. She's been living in Mexico. I like what she's been saying. Mexicans don't think the cholos and the Chicana culture is real Mexicans. They think it's USA Mexicans, and they don't like them. Again, it's really weird. At least that's been my experience. You are not wrong, and yet I know that's not how every Mexican,
No, and what's funny is, on my third feature film, my producer had brought in some investors from Mexico City, and he was going to make them extras in my film, and they had to play, cholos, and so he told them to come in costume, and what they interpreted that to mean were Ed Hardy shirts and big gold chains and pants with big belt buckles and ostrich boots, and they showed up to my set looking like cartel guys. And I was like, you need to take them to the store and get these guys suited up, man, because this is not what what I'm doing. And he knew that. And I remember them coming to set, and my producer just like putting his hand in his face going, oh my God, they totally misinterpreted what they thought I was looking for. So it was, you have two, Mexican cultures, but two very different interpretations in terms of what I was bringing to my film, which was Chicano culture, and they were bringing this like cartel feel, because that's how they interpreted these gangsters to dress. But it was pretty funny, but it was my first like understanding of, not everybody is going to really, just because we're all Mexican on this set, we all understand the same things about our culture.
Okay, let me just say right now, audience in the chat, thank you so much. You guys are just killing it. We are here with the founder, the publisher of the Daily Chela. We're going to read your story, but also filmmaker Kenneth Castillo. And I have one of his DVDs, Sideways. We're going to go ahead and give this away by the end of the stream. How does that sound to you guys in the chat? I think it sounds pretty dope. And my members have been getting some exclusive movies of Kenneth, so that's been awesome. Okay, let's get. I want to get to the article, because I think we're all on the same understanding of each other. We're just gonna kind of like, let's dive into this from the pages of the Daily Chela, one of my favorite places to go. Brandon, why everyone loves Chicano culture except its critics. Those with the strongest opinions about Chicano culture often have the least context. I have a thing that's going on with my. There we go. This week, the 7-Eleven launched a new ad showing a group of Chicanas on lowrider bikes cruising through the parking lot of a convenience store with big gulps. The ad, directed by Harmony Corrine. Am I saying that right?
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, quickly went viral. But perhaps what is most surprising is that the ad isn't an anomaly. In fact, it comes on the heels of recent ad campaigns by Modelo and Facebook, both who recently spotlighted urban Chicano culture. For many in the Mexican American community, 7-Eleven as ads was well received. Quote, I love seeing these women portrayed as fun, cool, and fierce, tweeted Michelle Morganti.
Morgante.
I'm sorry?
Morgante.
Morgante. Okay, sorry, Morgante, who works for the Institute for Nonprofit News. Another user echoed her sentiment, tweeting, I'm here for it, for all of it. Representation matters. Oh. Okay, any thoughts or anything so far in this article, guys?
I'm just enjoying the chat, man. They are on fire, and if there's detractors and they don't even understand the culture they are talking about, then they are not detractors. They are just random people saying whatever they want. It's not the same as formulating a real opinion, knowing what the hell is going on, and that's mostly what I'm seeing in the. At least I'm seeing the comments on the video, and that's what I'm seeing. People that don't get it, just don't get it. That doesn't mean it's racist. It's just you don't get it.
Really quick, I want to say goodbye to Steph. She's got to go. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for hanging out. All right, let's get back to the article. However, the ad wasn't without its critics. As usual, there were grumblings about negative representation and stereotypes. Another person complained that the ad was neither realistic or reflective of most U.S. cities, an impossible demand for any campaign to meet when you think about it. Ultimately, the criticisms were predictable. In fact, they are the same criticisms that have been hurled at urban Chicana culture for decades. Yet when criticisms are picked apart, you will find what they're almost always masking a deeper problem altogether: the critics' own lack of context. Wow, who wrote this? Very nice.
By the way, bienvenido, René.
We'll get to Renee in a second. Any thoughts on what was just read?
No, I completely agree with whatever.
Like, what are we going to disagree with Brandon? He's right here.
It's like right here.
Yeah.
To me,
This guy's racist.
The uniqueness about Daily Chela and this article in general is just the fact that now we have a counter voice to all the loud, negative voices on Twitter that start this kind of snowball effect where someone says something and then everyone else jumps on that, and there's no counter, or at least if someone does counter, they're overwhelmed by negative comments. Now there's actually, with Brandon's opinion pieces, where there's an intelligent argument now made for our culture.
Wookie in Exile, crap, Salty is live. I gotta go, mod. I have to go, mod. Have a great non-racist stream, Polly. You too, everyone. Thanks for pissing everyone off in the chat, as always.
Like, but he drops the bomb and leaves.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Wookie always means well, and they stay off the mota. Guy's crazy. How is exploiting systematic racism Chicanics?
What the hell is Chicanics?
How is that systematic racism what we're looking at?
How is exploiting systematic racism? Robert's slinging it.
Is the suggestion that women on lowrider bikes is indicative of systemic racism? Or is he saying because of the joke that you're saying everything is racist, that's making fun of? I'm just curious.
Right. When I'm saying everything is racist, I am being a bit satirical, even though it feels like everything is being trying to be canceled because it's so-called racist or negative. And that's what we're getting at the heart of with our panel today. So I don't know if there was any confusion on that.
No, that's only a tag that people attach to whatever you say or do to know that they have to attack you. So if you do, no matter what you do, if you do an open heart surgery and you save a child and the child was Latino, you are a racist. That's how it works right now. Anything you do, no matter if it's good or bad, is racist. So it's meaningless now.
Well, I know we're doing something right by having this panel, because we're really getting a great conversation, Kenneth, in the chat and here on our panel. And that was cute for you to say something, Kenneth. Say something very wise and funny and bright.
The biggest thing that I love about, I mean, there's a lot of things I love about Brandon's article, but that statement right above, the all too often the loudest critics of Chicana culture are those with no connection to Chicana culture to begin with. You know, a lot of times it's academics, you know, and they're trying to change the narrative that doesn't fit into what they want. And my thing is, celebrate it or don't celebrate it, but to call something negative or stereotypical, that's where I'm like, make more of an argument.
Okay, Kenneth and Brandon, let me ask you this. What is more racist? Doing what is part of your culture, or directly stating that someone cannot do what they are doing because it's not the proper application of their culture?
Right. No, that's a great point.
Yeah, great question. You know, that's the double-edged sword as a creative that we have to deal with sometimes, because there's this, especially in Hollywood, where it's like you have a group of people of, whether you want to call them Latinx, like say Latino Latinx, that want so desperately to be part of a system in Hollywood, but then at the same time, when don't want their culture to be what's the word I'm looking for, Brandon? Acquisitioned, you know, or
appropriated.
That's the word I'm looking for. You know, so it's kind of both those things. You know, are either one of those things racist? I don't think so. No, but I like I said, I think we've gotten away from what is racist. I think it's somebody who hates something, you know, hates a particular culture for the mere fact that it's not their culture. You know, so that's a very strong thing. You know, and now it's like it doesn't have to be that anymore. It's just if you disagree with something, you're considered that, or someone will label you that.
I want to get back to the article first. Everyone in the chat, if you want to follow these gentlemen, their links are in the description to this video. Clobbering Times, maybe you want to grab some of those. Let's thank our great wrench, Clobbering Times, for being here. Gracias, hombre. And Clobbering was actually a follower of Brandon before I was. Oh, wow. There you go. There you go. All right. Let's get back to this article. As a result, criticisms of Chicana culture are almost always rooted in ignorance, not logic. After all, I can't think of anything more illogical than letting the height of a bike or a car determine how negative something is perceived. Can you? Sure, not everyone in the Chicano community is crazy about the mainstreaming of Chicano culture, myself included. Over time, Chicano culture has largely gone way of Polynesian tattoos, where any Joe Schmo can strut into a tattoo shop and pick their favorite design without any substantive understanding of the culture. My first tattoo was done with a guitar string wired to a tape player. Nice. Oh, okay. That being said, the reason companies love to focus on urban Chicana culture is simple, because it is a fascinating culture. Exclamation point. It is vibrant, bold, flamboyant, colorful, and distinct. It is something that Mexican Americans should be proud of, not ashamed of. It is a culture rooted in struggle, defiance, self-determination, and perseverance. Wow, that's a lot there, Brandon. And you would get canceled for using terms such as bold, flamboyant, and colorful, because Latino critics don't want Latino items or properties to be further described as such in reviews.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that the genie's kind of out of the bottle when it comes to Chicano culture, right? It's an old culture. It's been around for decades. It showed its staying power, and it only continues to get bigger, whether or not certain people want to accept that. It's huge in Japan. It has been for decades. It's huge in Russia. It's huge in Brazil. You know, I mean, and the reason for that is because of its history. You know, it is rooted in struggle, defiance, self-determination, and perseverance. And it is beautiful. It is vibrant. It is bold, flamboyant, colorful, and distinct. And you know, people forget that a large part of that culture also is the fact that neither Americans or Mexicans really get it. You're wedged in the middle. You know, it's a mixture between two cultures, and it's like a Frankenstein culture. And those that adopt it embrace it for that
And
Awesome,
it's
reason.
bro.
evolving.
I
Let
wouldn't
us
call it Frankenstein. I would call it more actually the word Latino, because basically Latinos are that. We're basically the amalgam of any cultures. Like all of South America is basically founded the idea of either you have a native origin, you're Spanish, or you're African, and that's what our cultures have formed around that identity, that mix. Some are more like in Brazil, it's more African, but others like here in Peru, it's more our indigenous background. It depends a lot, but still, the Latino culture in essence, like the general broad term of Latino, is that it's like that mixture of cultures creating something new and unique.
Yeah, I think there's some truth to that. I don't think that the Latino in a broader sense is culminated in styles that are as specific as Chicano culture, from cars to bikes to fashion.
Well, that's the American influence, I think.
Sure, yeah.
You know, that's the, like you said, the Frankenstein part of it. Let us take a break real quick. I want to give props to our 26th member of the channel. Wow. Rene Delgado, he holds the distinction of being a member, then not being a member, and being a member now again. He was a member as Krusty Moco, and now he is Rene Delgado. And because you are a new member, it's perro time, guys. I have a dancing dog just for Rene.
I love that dog.
Thank you so much. And yes, guys, please follow the Daily Chela on Twitter, and the links are in the description. Fantastic. 18 people in the chat. I'm completely floored that you guys are here. 23 likes. Let people know that this is a wonderful conversation that we're having, and we'll be here for a little while longer. Where were we, gentlemen?
Oh, let me ask a random question. Okay, if you go to another country that is not yours and you want to cook whatever you usually cook on your home, will you be able to properly find every single ingredient and make it exactly as in your original country?
Probably not.
Okay. If you want to dress as your culture in other country, is exactly the same as in food. You won't find the materials to do it the way you used to do it. So what you do, and this is what Latinos do, you will take whatever you can find and make it yours. Make it on the style of what you usually do, but it is not properly what you will do on your country. You are taking parts and fixing whatever you need, so it works. That is, in a sense, what Chicano culture started as. They didn't have the access to everything Mexican or everything Latin American, and you know there's Ecuadorians that go to the United States and they become part of the Chicano culture because it's the most Latin culture there. At the same time, it is not proper Ecuadorian culture, and you will have some variations of Chicano culture that have a bit more Ecuadorian, a bit more Brazilian, a bit more of any other aspect. But is people trying to fix the parts that they love of their culture and make them part of the new country? Is that, and that should be celebrated.
Awesome. All right, let's get back to the article, and we are talking about this new ad. If you're just joining us, this new ad from 7-Eleven featuring Chicano lowriders and their bikes, and this article is written by Brandon, who's here on the panel. Thanks for joining us, by the way. Okay, where were we? Does anybody believe a 7-Eleven ad about a bunch of Latina brain surgeons would have resonated the same? Of course not, unless the surgeons were all cholas, that is. Nice, nice. At the end of the day, 7-Eleven's goal is to sell big gulps to likely customers. And in the West, there is no shortage of Mexican Americans who love lowrider culture. In fact, cities ranging from Las Vegas to Phoenix to Albuquerque all have hosted lowrider shows this year with tens of thousands of people. This year, Brandon?
Correct. Yeah, already.
Wow. Even during this whole past year, huh?
Oh yeah, they even had them last year.
I would even go as far to even I would go so far as to even suggest that we are seeing the largest lowrider resurgence since the 90s, which in turn was the largest resurgence since the 70s. Oh. Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, it seems that part of Chicano culture is definitely making a huge comeback. To this extent, it was a smart ad, and anyone with context knows that not all people who drive a lowrider are the same. As a result, lowriding and positively representing different types of people don't have to be mutually exclusive. In fact, Lowrider Magazine runs a video series entitled Lowrider Role Models to illustrate this very point. Ultimately, lowrider enthusiasts include all types of people, from veterans to teachers to police officers. Does this mean that people in companies always get it right? No. In fact, the political side of Chicano culture has largely taken a backseat to the more visual aesthetic side of Chicano culture. Ah, nice. Yeah. You want to comment, anyone, on that?
Just from the side of Mexico, Mexico is a quite visual culture. It's a flamboyant culture. It's a colorful culture. If you go to anywhere in Mexico, you will find colors and you will find this visual excess everywhere. That is part of who they are. Racists tell them you cannot do that. Not tell them come and enjoy, and oh man, this is so
Kenneth
backwards.
or Brandon?
No, I mean, I agree. Yeah, I think that I think there's an element that comes from that heritage of being colorful and flamboyant and, in your face. I feel like Mexico, out of all the countries in Latin America, is probably the most like that.
Yes.
Wookiee in Exile says acclamation is real diversity. Combine everything. Don't separate people with it. Okay.
Agree.
He further says, melt in the melting pot. America. Thank you, Wookiee.
Well, I think that's one of the unique things about Chicano culture is the fact that it is so diverse. I mean, sure, the bulk of it is Mexican Americans and Mexican Americans spearheaded it, but it's huge everywhere, among different races, among different countries, nationalities, and ethnicities, and it's okay with that. It invites that. It celebrates that. So I think that gets lost in a lot of people.
That's a good point. All right, let me finish up this article. Nonetheless, this doesn't mean that ad like the one 7-Eleven created don't still result in a net benefit, particularly for the people and businesses involved. And to pretend otherwise is intellectually dishonest. Love it or hate it, Chicano culture is one of the most dynamic cultures ever originally created. It is celebrated and emulated across the world, from Russia to Japan. It isn't going anywhere anytime soon. If Mexican Americans don't own it, someone else will. If critics don't like it, who cares? Either way, if you think cholos or lowriders automatically equate to negative representation, the problem is, in all caps, you. It isn't the sunglasses or the car. Nicely done, sir.
Yes.
Nicely done. Badass.
I was going to ask,
Sure.
for here in the panel, after talking about how, especially what Joaquin Exile said about how being a melting pot and how Chicano culture is, wouldn't Chicano culture basically be sort of a representation of itself, or what the American idea is in general, since it's a mix? It's like the creation is like the same in the US. It's the melting pot. The Chicano culture is basically sort of the, let's call it the avatar of that idea, that culture, the US idea of that you come here and you sort of cultures melt into a single one.
Sure, and I think there's lots of examples that are like that. Yeah.
So basically, we can all agree on the fact that Chicano culture is one of the most Americana things that there is right now in the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I wrote a
comparable-
column. I wrote a column called "Cholos are as American as apple pie."
Yeah.
I completely embrace that concept.
Isn't it weird that the most American thing that most people will think about, a Western, is Italian? Meanwhile, the Chicano culture is not celebrated as American culture, and that's a real American culture.
Mhm.
I mean
It's the irony of life.
that's
Yep.
then who are the influencers in Hollywood that get to tell the stories. You know, that's what a big part of it is. You know, and even in terms of Chicano cinema, like some of our most beloved, you know, Chicano classics were directed by Caucasian filmmakers. And they did great jobs with it. I know, and then I've gotten to know one of them, and the other one, Taylor Hackford, who directed Blood In, Blood Out. You know, he's actually been a champion behind the scenes for people of color and getting to the DGA, and he has always supported people of color in Hollywood. But yeah, he's not Chicano, and he directed Blood In, Blood Out. You know, Michael Pressman directed Boulevard Nights. He's the Caucasian dude. He's a director on SVU New York, the New York one. Now he's an older gentleman, very successful director. But so, you know, it's that's part of the thing. It's who controls what gets made, and not just that, who gets to make it. You know, I'm not as a Chicano filmmaker that's how I identify myself. You know, I'm not in consideration for a lot of things simply because I don't know enough people that make those decisions, you know. So someone who does, it doesn't matter if they're Chicano or not, they're going to get opportunities to tell stories, whether it's in episodic television or in cinema.
I think it's also how you mentioned, like, how Hafford did Blood In, Blood Out, and it's like there was something that reminded me what Denzel Washington once said, because they asked him, why did you hire a black director to, I don't remember which movie it was, okay? And he mentioned culture, because he said, Scorsese could have done Schindler's List, and we could also have Steven Spielberg doing something else related to the mafia culture. But the problem is, because it's not their culture, they're not necessarily going to understand it. But then there's other filmmakers who are able to actually absorb the culture, understand it, and actually respect it, not try to create an amalgam thinking from their own ideas, like saying, I understand this. No, it's more like, okay, I understand till here. Let's see. And I try to learn more, and I start absorbing it and understanding, okay, they work like this. The culture formed like this, and they start making, and they're able to make movies, even though they're not part of the same culture. They can still make the movies because they respect the culture and they respect everything about it, not just the important parts that work for a story. I think that's very important. Like you say, how in Hollywood, most of the decision makers and most of the people are doing it, they don't really understand the culture entirely. They might understand a fraction of it, but
yeah,
it doesn't work.
Yeah, but I would say there are also instances where we do get an opportunity to tell a story and we mess it up, you know, and then it's like, then Hollywood's like, well, we tried to do something, you know, authentic, and, you know, the audience didn't respond, because I think a lot of times when our own get opportunities, they're not sticking to just telling a great story. They're making a pivot to see, well, maybe this is what they want. And that you're going to lose as a storyteller anytime you do that. You know, if you take it from a human element, which that's, in terms of my storytelling, that's what I do. You know, yes, they're in the urban genre, the Chicano genre, but I never say I'm writing Chicano characters. I'm writing human beings that, you know, first. And I think that's why my stuff, at least, has resonated not just with my own community, but also with, you know, a lot of the vloggers and podcasters, other than Brandon and Polly, last year, because of COVID, I was reached out to by mostly Caucasian podcasters and vloggers who just were independent filmmakers who knew my work and wanted to talk to me about it. Didn't understand how I was being able to do, you know, 5, 6, 7 features, and were curious. But I don't get that interest from my own community when it comes to that. Like I said, Brandon and Polly, like, you know, Brandon I've met probably about 2-3 years ago. Paulie I just met a few weeks ago. So
Well, some people are ashamed and actually afraid of showing off their culture or even participating on it. Because, there's a bunch of people that will look you as inferior if you do, so you don't. And maybe that's what happened in a lot of cases here in Ecuador. If you sell us a movie as a Latino movie, we may not go to see it. If you sell it as a good movie, we are going to see it definitively.
If it has Godzilla,
uh,
For
Pablito,
reason.
I'm sorry, Pablito, do you guys have a film commission in Ecuador?
Oh, it's kind of murky, the situation here, because our country is kind of socialist. It's pseudo-socialist. It's not fully, but so the government handles the art. They actually impede a lot of projects that doesn't go with the new identity, the new woke identity that they have for our country and for Latin America. We are supposed to civilize ourselves, stop being what we are, to be something that they can sell to the United States or to Europe, and we kind of don't want that.
I mean, I can give an example here in Peru
before-
about that. Wait, Paulie, tell it.
yeah, thank you. Before we move on to the next subject, we have a giveaway from the filmmaker Kenneth Castillo. Sideways, the movie Sideways. I have this DVD to give out. I'm thinking, Kenneth, if there is a particular YouTuber in the chat that you like, you might want to award this to if they're coming up with some really good comments and questions. So people in the chat, ask us something good, and maybe you might get a movie. To change some gears, I would like to. I think we've wrapped up for now this story, and you guys can catch this story on the Daily Chela. Brandon, thank you so much. Really nicely written, my man. And this is not the first time that we have pulled from the Daily Chela. We'll continue to pull from your stories, brother. Congrats on everything that you guys are doing, by the way.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you sharing the story and having me back on.
Oh, yeah. So I wanted to share right now, as a matter of fact, is one of the biggest nerdathons that happens on Friday nights. It's called Friday Night Tights. And one of the gentlemen on the show, in fact, he hosts Friday Night Tights right now. It's like thousands of people, is Gary of Nerdrotic. And him and another UK big YouTuber, had this really wonderful moment that I think, and I would love to get the panel's opinion and the chat's opinion on how we've talked about this as far as the connection of the Mexican and Chicano culture to non-Latinos. And I think this is a great moment, but let's check this out for a second. Let me cue it up. All right. Some sound.
You're going to have to learn how to deal with that.
What?
Ladies can do stuff now. And you're going to have to learn how to deal with it.
What? Were you saying something?
Nerderotic.com.
I had a character in City of Heroes that I created, Captain Mexico. So he had a Mexican flag costume, and this is bad. So I created Captain Mexico. He was born in Tijuana, and when he tried to come across the border, he swam in the Tijuana River, and he got superpowers. And I created this character, right, and then forgot about it, and I wasn't gonna play with him or anything. We were just in the store, we're fucking around. We kept on making captains of every country. And then my son starts playing the City of Heroes while I'm at the store, and I'm not paying attention, and he's fucking playing with Captain Mexico. And he's saying, I remember they had battle cries, and I'm not even gonna
Hola!
Oh, it was it was a different time, folks. When we could laugh at shit like that.
Yeah, and it's not done with malice.
Oh,
it's just poking. We're just poking fun at stereotypes.
So later on, I went to a Comic-Con.
Oh no, you didn't cosplay Captain.
Somebody,
oh my god,
that was my fucking character. Like he's
that is beautiful.
Fucking awesome, dude.
Captain Mexico.
That's fucking great. I saw him cosplayed. I'm like, no.
Why
way.
is that not a cut? Why is that not a comic right now?
Oh, I love this one. That's fucking awesome.
I like the way it's got like Cuban boots on as well. Hola, I'm gonna fight you with my sombrero.
Oh, it's so fucking great. And look, already a black cap.
Oh, Captain Ireland, Captain America. Oh my God, sorry, you got beaten, Falcon. You got beaten. There's a black Captain America, and then Captain Mexico. This is great. This is fun. This is fun. This isn't disrespectful. This is people enjoying themselves, having a fucking laugh.
Captain Ireland's awesome.
Taking, look, yeah, there's sombrero on his back.
Yes.
So the shield, he's got his sombrero on the back.
It's fucking great.
See? Remember when we used to be able to have some fun?
Yep.
All right. First impressions on that video. I'm gonna go to our guests, to our panel. I want to go to Kenneth first. What did you think of that, hombre?
You know, I don't think it was malice, but I felt better once I saw Captain Ireland on there. So I felt like they were equal opportunists of attacking cultures with the 4-leaf clover on the shield. And, you know, I don't let things like that bother me. You know, I can see how it would bother some people though. And, you know, when you know, I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest.
And Brandon.
You know, I mean, I'm a next to impossible person to offend. So, you know, I think it was kind of stupid. And like Kenneth says, I can see how some people probably wouldn't like it, but for me personally, I don't really care. I mean, I don't get offended by things. And, you know, I guess whether or not you're asking whether I think that there was malice behind that conversation, probably not. I mean, I think they're probably just two idiots having a conversation, and I mean, I don't really know anything. I don't know anything about the show.
These are two of the biggest YouTubers in the geek world, right?
Okay. Yeah,
like
yeah. I've never seen them
and thousands of followers. So, you know,
yeah,
you guys don't know who they are, which I think is that's why I want to get your impression. I think it's great.
I've never heard of them or seen them. I've seen that picture though at, you know, I have friends that go to Comic-Con and have seen Captain Mexico there before. I'm taking pictures with them and everything else. And I think he actually is Mexican. So, yeah, so I seen it with the context. I guess it was seeing them the way they were making fun of it or teasing about it. You know, it's just kind of juvenile, but I think a lot of those guys, that's how they get their followings. They're not having, you know, an intelligent conversation about anything. So for me, it's like, it's harmless.
Yeah, I follow those two idiots a lot.
I was waiting for that.
You know,
Black Phillip Alvarez said it best. It was more silly than offensive. I agree with that.
Fun fact, Gary is the reason why I'm doing anything on YouTube. I actually
so I get him to blame.
Exactly.
No, I had sometimes tried to contact him because he's hilarious, you know, and he plays with anything. He will make jokes about anything, and that's the real beauty of his shows.
And I'm sorry to interrupt, Pablito, but that's an important point. Like, I have no context because I don't know their show, right?
Yeah, same here. I don't have any context.
Yeah, it's not, and that's part of the problem, right? We'll see something and we don't know the show, so we don't really know how offensive they are as people or individuals because I don't watch the show. It could probably be totally innocent. I mean, I'm sure I've talked a lot over the last year, and I'm sure someone could pull something that I've said that may have offended somebody, and then just take that snippet and say, this is what Kenneth Castillo believes, you know. So I think that's a very good point you just made there. Like, you know, we don't really, you know, for Polly and for you guys know these guys, so it's not a big deal to you, you know. So you're like, no, it's all in good fun. And like me and Brandon never seen these guys before, so we're like, I don't know, it's kind of silly. It's like, whatever, you know, why are you picking on that, or why are you making that an issue? But I'm you know.
No, they have this almost offensive naivety. They will just play with anything you give them. And okay, I was saying the story. He one day said on one of his streams, come to YouTube. If you want to talk common sense, come to YouTube. And I did that. Then one day he invited me to the biggest show that they have, Friday Night Lights. And I had like a month of doing really trying to do YouTube. Before that, I was just messing around and everything. You know, these guys will joke about anything you give them. And I actually miss that. I miss George Carlin, you know.
Yeah, I liked him a lot.
Yeah, that sensation of, okay, it's your turn. It's not about you are the victim. It's just your turn. You are in the middle and you are the joke. That's how it works. And
Right, I love that. It's your turn.
Yeah. When you are with your friends, you know, you are making a joke and then they'll come back with a even more offensive joke, and you don't get mad. You need to get an even offensive joke. And that's how conversation escalate, and that's fun. That's the real fun. And they are including us, not in the way showcasing us. They are just directly making us part of the conversation because we are there. And that's basically what we kind of need.
Mm-hmm. I think the best summary is like Az and Gary, they basically do what I think here in Peru and I think in Ecuador as well, is like the game Apanado or Callejón Oscuro, as we call it, where basically it's like you take turns and basically who is the poor schmuck that's gonna be in the middle of like being chased by people, and then if everybody gets him, they all go and they start like, you know, giving him a hit. Okay, that's how we play it. So it's a common game for all kids, especially for guys. It's like we alternate who is it, basically, who has to run and who has to chase him, and sort of it's basically that, you know, how there's that fun where you can like, it's the idea that there's no limits, you know, in the sense like everybody's gonna, it's like there's an equal opportunities, like sometimes over there, sometimes over there. And that's also, for example, we like it because also here in South America, especially, our humor is like that. It's like, it's offensive. And usually it alternates between certain subjects. And it's like, we understand it's not from malice. It's just, they can make it funny. And sometimes when they escalate, it makes it even more funnier because it's a serious topic, but how they humorize it, not in an offensive way, but in a way that makes it a bit lighthearted at times.
Right.
You know? So it works in that sense. Like, yeah, especially Gary and Az, when they're doing their BBC streams, they're as you described it, it's like they're a bunch of idiots. Sometimes they're like kids. They're basically, when they're there, they're like kids because they're just basically talking about anything. They're talking shit. And they're bagging their comics at the same time, you know? It's like, imagine if you were back to being a 12-year-old or 10-year-old with your comics and you're a friend and you're talking and you just, you know, talking shit right there. And sort of sometimes you get subjects that are a bit, you know, risque or a bit fun, but it's the whole idea. It's like that dynamic, and it's not with malice. It's just the dynamic that goes with it at times. And so it's like, that's why sometimes we complain about how people say there is malice or there's intent. And actually it's not. It's just, they're just going with the flow at times. And because how culture like has changed and has become this idea of like, you got to respect everybody. Nobody can be offended except the specific group, you know, who are still the majority in the US. It's like, it changes the dynamic completely.
Just out of curiosity for you guys in Ecuador and in Peru, like, is it the same type of, like right now in the United States where it just kind of feels like you can't say certain things, you're going to offend some people, and then you're going to get attacked and on Twitter or whatever. But is it the same type of social? Are there the same type of issues that you guys deal in those countries with when it comes to social media, or are people just more chill about it?
Okay, kinda. It started here, to be honest. If you see, we had
blame you now.
socialismo del siglo XXI, 21st century socialism. That is what you guys are getting repackaged as politics, and is this the government will control culture. The government will control the evolution of society. You got to do whatever we say you have to do, and if you don't, you'll pay. That has actually destroyed a lot of our culture. For example, and we were talking about the joviality on the jokes. There was a program called Solteros sin Compromiso here in Ecuador, and there's this scene where all the cast always make fun of the other, and this time is the gay character that is being made fun of. And when they finish, he goes, okay, I need to go to work. And he opens the door of his room and gets two black men, gigantic black men, out of the room, telling him, okay, honey, I'll call you tonight. And you go, he's triumphing on life. He's actually making it big. So the jokes are completely unimportant to the character. The jokes are at the expense of the character, yes, but it's part of the joke. The character is the real joke. You know, he is a winner, yet he is still being made fun of.
If I could say something, because I'm the one that did send the video to you guys. I think I wanted to connect it to, I think the very same people that criticize and get offended by the 7-Eleven commercials will be the same ones getting offended by Gary Naz taking the piss out of a very endearing and nerdy moment. And I just saw and the fact that that video came up yesterday, I was like, and because I absolutely I think Gary's a fantastic gentleman and sober dude such as myself, kind of picked himself up, from nothing, San Francisco, San Diego boy. I just thought it'd be interesting to throw it at you guys, because it's also, connected to our culture in a way too, but some people don't have a sense of humor that, well, you shouldn't make fun of people crossing the border because, they don't have a voice.
Corporations can't ever have a sense of humor. There's a bunch of people running the company, whatever company you want to point to. So there's a bunch of different sensibilities going on. You cannot get a consensus on that. You cannot ever get all the people in the same boat. So in this point, if we are making fun of each other, that's good. That's great. That means we have a kind of rapport, a kind of sameness. We can approach each other in the same language, jokes. After that, whatever comes, it's not necessary for you to respect me to have a conversation. It is necessary for you to be able to take the same amount of whatever you give me. If you give me respect, well, there's a bunch of people that will talk without any joke, and it will be wonderful. But if you want to go to jokes, man, be prepared. Just be prepared.
I was gonna say, you told me to pick somebody out in the comments. I don't know if you've given Clobbering Times a copy yet.
I haven't.
I would give it to him because he's just been promoting the hell out of my stuff, Brandon's stuff. Like, he's just promoting the hell out of everybody. So I am, I appreciate it. So let's definitely get Clobbering Times one.
All right, the great Clobbering Times gets the movie Drive-By Chronicles Sideways,
nice.
Directed by Kenneth. The first one of the Drive-By Chronicles, Sideways, from director Kenneth Castillo. Mike Clobbering Times wins. Awesome, man. Awesome. I'm trying to bring a couple other people on to the panel. I know one who follows Kenneth. So we'll see. You guys are invited. And
actually, can I answer something? Kenneth asked us both before, and just
because
please do. Mine is a bit simpler because in Peru, I'm lucky in the sense that my country, basically 88% of people do not believe anything that's in social media. We are very skeptical,
Right.
in general. It's like that 12%, it actually is represented by those people, like in the US, the woke crowd, the wokosos, as Paulie calls them. That 12% is those guys. And so it's, for us, it's a bit of a mixed bag, because like they try to impose things to us, right? They go do their protest, but they're going it the wrong way, because it's sort of like they come and they try to insult our culture. They try to insult they even insult our mothers at times. I mean, that pisses off all of us off in moments, you know. And sort of like here, it's a bit more like a bastion of sanity. I do air quotes because there's other moments where I'm like, why? But in general, it's like that. Fortunately, we're not that like open to believe everything. We judge like everything, no matter who says it. We always like, they're lying to us. We don't know how, but they're lying to us.
Yes,
basically that. So it's a bit better here in that sense.
Interesting.
Ooh, Wookie with the slings and arrows.
Oh no! Let's not talk about that.
Oh, okay.
That's a landmine.
It's a bit simpler here on Ecuador, but as I said, we are not Venezuela, but we are damn near that, and our government actually handles culture. So most of the movies have to be this Shakespearean kind of enunciation and overly theatrical, and the main character has to be gay and black, and we have wokeness on spades here. But, and this is the big but, we kind of go sideways. We just get whatever we can and do whatever we can get on the side, because the government will try to make us better, and we just want to be us, you know. We want to be whatever we are already. That is something that is really important. And you know, if you got the 7-Eleven ad where people are being themselves, that's enough. That's good enough. That's what we want. Just be yourselves. We don't need to sell it. We don't need to make it important or grandiose. Movies like Y Tu Mamá También is great because the characters speak like normal teenagers doing their stuff. It doesn't sound like they are trying to impress. They are just being themselves in front of the camera, and that is perfect.
I want to take a little break. We're going to bring in a couple of other guests and chat, hang out. We've got some surprises for you, including a preview of Midnight's Edge Espanol.
Nice.
As Pablito interviews Alex Ruiz from Del Castillo. We'll be right back.
Los cortes finales de la película Kill Bill 2. Yo pienso que toda esa canción va a caber ahí. Por la primera vez en mi vida la primera vez que fuimos del Castillo, fuimos a Los Ángeles a ver a Una Vez en México. Era Una Vez en México. Y pues ahí estábamos en una pantalla enorme, ¿no? Viendo la película con todos los actores. Igual como en Kill Bill 2, que fuimos a Los Ángeles también, y ahí estamos viendo la película y ni sabiendo que la malagueña que cantamos nosotros iba a ser tan larga así en el film, ¿verdad? Tan importante, que le puso tan importancia, ¿verdad? Que él le gustó tanto a Quentin que ahí empezó nuestra relación con él también, ¿no?
Hombre, realmente.
All right, that's just but a snippet, and we've invited our buddy, one of my black belt in Taekwondo, and I'm his black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, musician extraordinaire, Just Rezi official. What's up, brother?
Hey, Paulie, what's up, man? What's going on, everybody?
Hola.
How you doing?
I'm all right.
So
just
what do you think?
You guys enjoying hearing your input on these issues?
Nice.
Yeah, I know you actually been following Kenneth, and you checked out his interview a couple of weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah, a while ago, man. Kenneth, I saw some of your interviews on not Film Courage.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Film Courage channel. Yeah, man. So your story is super inspiring, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm sort of a budding filmmaker myself. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
I always try to. I mean, those. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of feedback on those because they interviewed me for like 4 hours, man. So they did a bunch of different snippets of them for over a year now. So, but yeah, I've gotten a huge response for those, and I have a book coming out that's given a lot of the stories I mentioned in Film Courage, hopefully in June. But now, of course, I'm getting busier with some projects, so I really need to get it out there.
Nice.
Really fast. Black Phillip Alvarez says it's out of stock. I guess that's a good thing. Black Phillip, are we talking about Kenneth's movies or his book? Because I know. Let's get that answered for Black Phillip.
Counterpunch is my 5th film. That is still streaming on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
I just ran into it last night, or my wife ran into it the other night. I didn't realize it was still on there.
Yeah, and we got Counterpunch right here, man. Woo! But those are for the members. Oh, his movie. Okay, so it says that. Okay, well there you go. So maybe that's something that figure out, Kenneth.
Sure.
So Reggie, you have a question or some insight at all on what we've been discussing?
No, man. Not a whole lot. I saw that 30-minute commercial, and of course, I saw it before your show, beforehand, and as a non-Latino, I'm going to defer to you guys to tell me what's offensive for you. But I didn't see anything wrong with it. It felt like a sort of a nothing burger, and Kenneth said it earlier, but a lot of the sort of the criticism that comes that without nuance sometimes comes from academia. I didn't have a problem with the commercial at all.
No, I think I think there's going to be more of a positive response to it. Brandon, have you gotten any blowback from your article, or anyone try to debate you on your article?
No, I had one person, and then I responded, and then they didn't want to debate anymore.
Right.
Yeah. See, I grew up primarily in Long Beach, so I saw cutoff khakis.
Brother, you're right by my neighborhood.
High knee socks. You know what I'm saying? Chuck Taylor's, Nike Cortez. Lowrider. I grew up. Spent time on Crenshaw. We had strong Chicano culture there. With the lowriders. So
yeah, he knows.
Yeah. That second clip, however, I saw those cosplay photos of Mexican Captain. I was going to say Mexican Captain America, Captain Mexico.
You could say Captain Mexico.
I thought it was cool. And then I saw, but gosh, those two YouTubers though, that. I bristled a little bit on that origin story he told me of how he made the game character, Yeah, I mean, if you guys are not offended with it, hey, cool. But
I'd like to
it's nothing I would ever do.
Yeah, I'd like to see more of their videos before I make a full opinion. Because like I said, I think it has to do with the fact that, sometimes like people who don't even pay attention, I mean, it happens all the time, like with the tax collector came out, and I wrote an article for Brandon on that one, where it's like people just had a knee-jerk reaction and came out hard after that movie without even seeing it, without any knowing about it, and without it even coming out. But the people that were hating on it hate the genre anyway. So
right,
they sometimes always have the loudest voices.
Yeah. There's definitely a hypervigilance around representation as a whole, and that doesn't necessarily mean everything needs to be like needs to conform to, what we call, gosh, I'm blanking on the term, but it's like everything doesn't have to be picture perfect. You know what I mean? It's like you can have both sides. If you have both sides, now if you only have the stereotype, then that's where the problem is. You basically have a character depicted in some work of fiction that isn't like 3-dimensional. It's just some cardboard cutout of what somebody thinks somebody is. You got well-rounded characters, man, and a broad representation. There's room for everything.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah.
People will get completely bonkers watching Japanese media because they really don't give a damn about offending anyone or using any stereotype. And I speak Japanese, by the way. So I follow a lot of Japanese programming. And they really don't give a damn. If they do a Latino character, it will be the most Latino thing you will ever see. They go
Reggie,
balls
just
to
mute
the wall.
yourself when you're not talking. Thanks, bro.
And maybe that's something that we lack in Western civilization right now. We need to take it. Just take it. If you make a Captain Mexico, great, amazing. Can we do a Captain Honduras next? A Captain Ecuador, a Captain... Because that's the fun part. If you are going all out, then I have no issue. If you are just taking a hit towards me or towards anyone, and then you stop, okay, you are not looking to make it something big. You're just trying to make the punch, to take someone out. And that is actually being offensive. You are trying to take an offense to make someone take that offense. If you're just going all balls to the wall crazy, that's amazing. Just take the Ecuadorian flag and make your own superhero. I don't care if you are from the United States or from Japan or from anywhere. Just make it and enjoy it. I may enjoy it too.
Pablo, you have to consider one thing. If they do that thing with the Ecuadorian flag, they're either going to think it's either Captain Ecuador, Captain Colombia, or Captain Venezuela.
Yes. Exactly. That's a good joke. We
love
have the
Captain
same
Ireland,
flag.
man. Captain Ireland.
Captain Ireland was the best. All he missing was his backpack of Guinness, and that was it.
And then the black Captain America was cool, and I like how they said, the Falcon, you're late, because that was an old cosplay. And the great Clobbering Times is joining us. What's up, bro?
Hey, man. Whoa. Well, hello, everyone. What a distinguished panel. All I can say is if there can be a Batman of all nations, and there can be a Captain America of all nations. So they obviously Captain fill in the blank.
Fair enough.
Batman Ninja.
Let me just tell Brandon and Kenneth, if you have any comic questions on any level, at any time, in any Clobbering Times and the man above are very, very well informed.
Do you know if they're doing a Nightwing movie?
There's one in the talks right now, from what I've heard. I don't know, and so it could happen. And will it be Dick Grayson, or they change him, something like that? I don't know, but I don't know if there's anything like in pre-production or anything. But I know it's up there because the fact is, every Marvel and DC title character that exists with their own title has a movie thing on the block because to keep the rights busy.
Right.
Yeah. The real issue right now is the Warner Brothers management. They are full woke. Full woke normally is quite racist, to be honest. They are just... I don't want to say anything too salty here. But
I think I can put it in a more succinct way because I understand you. I think what he's saying basically is the idea of how, because of their views, how they homogenize everything, at the end they're offending everybody instead of actually doing what they're trying to do, because they're homogenizing everybody into what they want. So it affects the product in the end because of trying to fill that gap or fill that quota or whatever. Sort of that's why we have movies where it's like it's not good. Like I'm talking about quality. I'm not talking about anything else. Just the quality of movies that we've been taking that are really infused with these subjects have been taking the hit.
Also, Nightwing
Before we
is.
Before we
Kenneth, are
continue,
you a Nightwing fan? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Brandon has to dip on out. Unless you had any questions, but if not, Brandon, let's spotlight you. Let people know what's up.
Thanks for having me on, by the way. I always enjoy coming onto the show, and I don't know what spotlight means, but for people that want to follow me, they can find me online by just looking up my name, Brandon Lauren Maxwell, or looking up the handle B to the Max, which is the worst handle ever because no one ever remembers it. So I need to come up with a new one. But I'm sure you'll see me again. And good luck with everything, Paulie and Pablo, and thanks for having me back on.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. Oops.
Thank you.
I'm so bad at that sometimes.
Paulie's my time. Paulie goes there and says, "It's my time."
Hey, let's give a round of applause, a shout out to Brandon for coming on. Great article, man. And
Thank you.
You have a good weekend.
Yay.
We'll see you later.
All right.
There it is. All right. Peace out, brother.
Take care, sir.
Yeah. So I think Warner announced.
As one comes in, give me a second. As one comes in, we're bringing Cold-Blooded Critic. Right now, he's barely Chicano, but that's okay. Welcome, Cold-Blooded Critic.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
1/4 Chicano.
That's enough.
Okay.
Instead of a quarter black, Garrett, you got a barely Chicano.
Welcome.
Hey, thank you. Good to be here.
Okay, so
yeah, Nightwing. Oh, sorry.
No, go. I'm going to tell you. Go.
No, something important about Nightwing. He is a Kryptonian superhero. He is not an Earthling superhero.
Oh, so originally the name, buddy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bottle City of Candor.
I think they first announced a Nightwing movie like 2014, 2013. Anyway, 7-8 years ago.
Oh yeah, it was a continuation for the Dark Knight Rises, right? It was supposed to follow the Robin that got into the cave.
Oh, from that movie? Oh, that
yeah.
Really?
Because his name wasn't Dick Grayson, also.
No.
Yes.
That movie was
not in that movie. In the movie, he wasn't really the Dick Grayson from the comics.
No, but his name was Dick Grayson, so everybody was like connecting it.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get our full nerd on, we only have a few more minutes left with director Kenneth Castillo. Clobber did win the movie. If any
thank you, sir. You're too kind.
If any of you gentlemen have any questions for Kenneth.
Is there any project in the works right now that we can see real soon?
Well, I'm transitioning to television, and I just had a pitch meeting today for a pilot I'm doing, and it went well. They requested the pilot, so my pitch went well. They requested the pitch deck, the pilot, and my treatment. So, but more importantly, like they really want to. I feel like they want to do business with me, regardless. So we'll see what comes up out of it, because it's just, you never know. But this is, I feel really good about it. It's the first time I'm meeting with production producers that are not just talking but are actually doing, and they've been working with some filmmakers that I have a lot of respect for, so I was just flattered that they even spoke to me. So we'll see how that plays out in the next few weeks. But other than that, I mean, I have other places I'm pitching to if it doesn't, that one doesn't turn out. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me right now. Like TV is a whole different beast than independent filmmaker. I'm trying to.
So basically, in the horizon, there could be something that like coming.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, definitely. And my book was probably the biggest thing that'll be out. But you know, I'm hoping that I was supposed to get it out in May, but now it's looking more like June, because I've been busy with this particular project. So.
Yes, Pat,
yeah,
ask a question. Go ahead. Yeah, and we will have a book release party. We're gonna work all the details where Kenneth comes back. we'll have a couple of some people here read from it. You know, we'll have a good time, bro, promoting it for you.
Nice.
Oh, Kenneth, let me ask you something. A superhero movie that you would like to direct?
I was going to ask that, Pablo. You damn it! Dang it! Go ahead.
Well, Nightwing. I think he's the character I really like. I'd love to do a Nightwing movie because I would cast a Latino on the Dick Grayson part. He would still be Dick Grayson, but it would be a Latino actor. That one. Oh God, I'm more into the Star Wars universe and more into doing. But I mean, I would, or even the Indiana Jones universe. I get asked the question. What sequel would I like to do? I would love to do a sequel to Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh,
ooh,
nice.
That is
nice.
nice.
As long as you don't say remake, I could still respect you.
Yeah,
nice.
I just feel like there's a great opportunity there. I mean, it's obviously Carpenter's IP, and he doesn't strike me as who would give that up. But if that opportunity ever came, I'm almost done.
I know, right?
I just put this on there. Fabricio Guido as Nightwing, maybe.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Real quick, Pat S is asking you, can you eat as much as you want from craft services? How do you keep the extras from taking food home at the end of the day? Thanks.
You can.
Pat S, nice.
Yeah. On my first 3 films, I had a very bad habit of not eating at all. I was just drinking Coke all day. And then my wife spoke to my assistant director and said, make sure Kenny eats on set because I would lose like 15 to 20 pounds during the shoot.
Wow.
And so my AD would be constantly bringing me food on my next few films after that. And as far as the extras, that's the assistant director's job to handle them.
Real quick before Kenneth leaves, our new member Renee, for becoming a new member on the show during the show, I'm gonna send you Kenneth's short films. It's 10, correct?
There's only the first 6 in that one.
Oh, 6 is still great. 6 short films on this DVD for you, Renee, for becoming a old new member of the channel. So muchísimas gracias. And thank you, Kenneth. Anything else, brother, before you gotta bounce out?
No, just thank you so much, Paul. You've been incredibly supportive and introducing me to this community. You guys are all great. Clobbering Time.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
No. Oh man, I'm digging it because, like I said, like a lot of people I've been talking to over the past year. You know, it's felt really good to help me get my movies out and get my story out. You know, so Film Courage was really great at that as well. So, but you know, it's nice when gente comes through and wants to support my stuff as well.
That's right, guys. So please follow Kenneth, Twitter, his website. We're gonna have him back here by June for his book release. And, this gentleman's got 7 independent films that you can go and watch and check out his great work. And he came over the house. That was really cool, man. And he got to talk and hang with Romy.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Okay, well, have a good night.
Thank you much, guys. Have a good one. Appreciate it.
Caballero.
See ya. Take care, sir. Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right, well, let's see if we can make this work. Chicano is barely online.
His internet is going at quarter speed.
Yeah, so we can shift gears. Reggie, well, we got Reggie's thoughts on the video and the commercial. Clobbering,
yeah, buddy.
Your thoughts on the commercial and the Gary video?
Hey, fellas.
Well, in the commercial. Oh, good to see you, sir. Good. Nice to meet you there, Barely. I thought the commercial was fine. It was an entertaining short little thing that didn't look pretty harmless to me, you know. And as for I have a bias because I really love Barry. Listen to me, Barry, Gary, and Az. I love him so much. I forgot his name. The great guys. Gary's been really good to a lot of us here. He's really good. They're very giving fellows. They're good guys. And as Pablo was saying, they joke around about everything. And It's kind of the way I've always liked to be. Like no one's safe. Everyone gets picked on, and everyone gets messed around with, and all in good fun. And I think he was Gary was referring to City of Heroes, the role playing game, I believe, with that origin, and that was a long time ago when he came up. He was just talking about something that he was. If you get his tone, and Gary was kind of almost. He was laughing at it, but also kind of a little embarrassed about it as well because he came up with such a silly, premise and stuff. But harmless, and those guys are really a couple of great fellows.
What a wonderful idea this has been. It's only going under 2 hours. I thought that no one would be here, and we've had a nice, healthy crowd, and I really appreciate y'all. Barely Chicano, if you can keep your camera off, I think you'll get a better connection for now. Your thoughts on the commercial and then the video, or whichever you want to comment on. Is he having a hard? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having some technical difficulties here, Latino Slant.
Well, we can hear you now, so
yeah, you sound fine.
So talk
quickly.
So my opinion is kind of aligned with most everybody else that has spoken already. Didn't bother me. It's kind of just like whatever, no sweat off my back kind of thing. Yeah. I'm really nervous, man. So, hey, I'm sorry.
You're doing great, brother. You're doing great. In the chat, Luis Castillo, Jose Luis Castellanos. Hey, back in the day, Robin was Ricardo Tapia, at least at dubbed Batman series in Latino America.
Yeah, that's right. Bruce Wayne was Bruno Diaz.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. Did you know that, Clobberin?
Yes, my buddy Carlos, who does the shows with me all the time. He tells me everything that from all, because he's a comics savant as well with knowledge and encyclopedia. And yes, even though he's from Mexico and he lives there now, he's lived in New Orleans for a long time. That's how I met him. So he tells me all of the different types of translations of movies and comics, like what that was called over there as opposed to what it's called with its normal, with its original title. So yeah,
I was gonna say, Paulie,
Batman.
Paulie, you want to have fun? You should try to get the movies in their Spanish, like in Spain, the titles, because it's a horrible translation they do. Sometimes it has nothing to do with it.
Oh god,
really?
Especially movie titles, dude.
Yes, you should do a segment just dedicated just to seeing like the movie here in the U.S.
You should have Carlos
the name, and then that. It's like, oh god,
it's cringeworthy.
Yeah.
I just want to say, Wookiee in Exile, rock out with your socks out and lay off the weed. Love you, man.
Is that meant to be socks, or is that supposed to be another word inserted there?
Man, we said cocksucker so many times last night. It's not even funny. Deadwood. Yeah, Reggie. We have the Deadwood watch party here on Thursday nights, and every other word is I don't know if have you ever seen that TV show Deadwood?
I have never seen it.
Oh,
you gotta watch it.
It's amazing. It's amazing television, first of all, but yeah, the language is very colorful.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Barely Chicano, I'm hearing you, man. You got some cool, chill vibes. What did you say you grew up, you are Chicano, you grew up in Northern California, right? Correct?
Yeah, I grew up in the Bay Area, San Jose, Santa Clara, kind of like the South Bay Area, Sunnyvale. So yeah, pretty much grew up. My parents were both they were both cholos, cholas, whatever you want to call them. They were pretty heavy into the gang life, and I had to see all that stuff growing up. There was drugs and parties and fights and police, and it was just it was pretty crazy childhood I had, but I survived it, and I'm here. So
no, you don't find something like a commercial like that offensive, where they're kind of just showing one side of a particular culture.
I mean, I've seen some pretty pretty bad stuff as far as offensive material or content aimed at Chicano culture or whatever. And it's just kind of like it's just kind of laughable to me. I don't take it serious. I mean, it's just like, I've been there, done that. I've seen it all. So there's nothing that you can show me. Well, I mean, it'd have to be pretty bad. It'd have to be worse than that. So.
Gotcha. And we do have a self-professed Wokoso who is on our panel. He wants one of the shirts. Reggie.
That's right. Yo soy Wokoso. Yeah.
Ah, ya empezaron con las wocosadas, carajo.
You've got some interesting takes on Superman, and
yes, I do.
Yeah, and Michael B. Jordan and what he was saying this week. What are your thoughts on that, man?
I mean, I think he said the right thing in that article. He says, I'm not trying to be Clark. I was never trying to be Clark Kent. That's just, there's some things you can redo. He didn't think that was one of them. I think that look and that characterization is too iconic. I think he agreed with that. And he was going to go for the Calvin Ellis Superman. For those who don't know, there's a few different, there's two different Black Superman in the comics. One was named Calvin Ellis from an alternate Earth. The DC Comics, they have infinite Earths. And another one was called Val Zod, President Superman. Or Obama Superman. Obama Superman, as they called him. And I mean, that's cool. You know what I mean? Who knows what they're going to do going forward? They have a lot of projects that, like Nightwing, for example, that get announced, like Batgirl, like New Gods, like the Black Hawk with Steven Spielberg, that get announced that never.
I have a hoodie.
Yeah, they call it development hell.
Yeah.
Wokosadas sounds like noodles entree. So maybe I wonder how that would taste.
Very salty.
Reggie. Slimy.
Fusion.
Fusion salty.
Fusioning. No,
I'll
but
take one wokosada with a side of chile, please.
The whole concept of Superman being like, an alien who lands in the heartland of America. You can definitely tell that, but a lot would have to be different. I mean, you can do a story, and I'm hoping to get to tell one day, and it definitely won't be called Superman, but sort of the same characteristics, but black. You have the relationship between John Kent, his father, and Clark Kent. You have that real thing existing all over the South, especially in that time period. There's a way you can tell that story, but a lot would be different, and I don't think it's necessarily right for Superman because it'll never be accepted in good faith. With certain things, when you adapt something that's established, there's only so far you can go with it without offending its existing fan base. There's some cool ideas with that, but I don't think having Clark Kent be casted, by Michael B. Jordan would be a smart thing to do.
Okay, I had some kind of plan how you can do a Black Superman and actually be Clark Kent. You go, you show the ship coming to Earth, and the White Kents, you had all our lives are the ones that pick up the ship. They get the child is black, and then you have in the ending of the movie actually him punching through reality. That's something that Superboy did once, and Superman has done in a couple of occasions. he punches reality, goes to the multiverse plane, and he actually meets Henry Cavill's Superman. And you have a conversation between them because, if that's an alternate dimension where Superman is black, and there's the alternate dimension where Superman is white, you can have that contrast and you can show them together, fighting together in the next movie against Darkseid or against any of the multiverse threats. You can do that, but you don't erase one Superman to get your new version, your better version of Superman. You have to have both, because both of them can be important to different people. You cannot just throw away one because the new black version is better in your eyes, and that's what has been going on.
Well,
I was gonna say,
I'm also a huge Henry Cavill fan, so
yeah,
so I definitely want to see him continue.
Thank you. Members of the Church of Cavill are here. Thank God. I was gonna say, but also, for example, I'll be honest. Like,
he's no Superman.
Christopher Reeves is the only Superman. Sorry.
Oh no!
Oh, okay.
Hey, I think Cavill should get a chance to play him. He just hasn't been given a chance to play him yet.
He is the only Superman without a Superman movie.
Exactly. Because he is. Because I kid you, I hate Zack Snyder's garbage, but I love Henry Cavill.
Here we go.
That was a great casting.
Okay. Here we go.
The mics are dropping.
Okay. So, Reggie, rebuttal to clobbering.
Well, I mean, Diego had something he was going to say. So
I was always going to say is that actually, when you think about it, Superman is an alien, so technically you could put him. And in theory, anybody could theoretically play him. Okay, that's the idea of being him being an alien. Okay, just that, of course, when they made the character, they made him to be identifiable, and people could identify with him and the ideals he represented, right? Freedom, justice, and the American way, because it was the time of the fighting communism in the Soviet Union. So they have to make a character who was also white, since it was the majority of the population. But I mean, you could do a Superman who, because he's an alien, he could be darker skinned, or you can make him a Latino, you can make him Asian technically, because in Krypton they're aliens, so they're not going to be like us.
Right. They look like us, but there could be black Kryptonian instead of Jor-El sent his son, and he landed with the Kents.
There has been black Kryptonians before.
Yeah, it's happened. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying they could change it, and it doesn't really affect, as long as the character is exactly the same. That's Superman, who's that ideal. That the little basically carrying the flag, almost a Captain American personality as well. Representing those ideals. It doesn't really affect as much if you take into account that. The problem is because Superman has 60 years of history now, 70, 80? 80 years of history.
Almost.
Okay,
82 almost.
Real fast, guys.
81.
Pause. Hold on to that. Anyone in the chat, members, will always be taken in first. Let me know who in the chat would like to join our panel. I'm gonna go I'll go at least another 30 minutes. I'm going a little longer because I'm gonna take the weekend off, so I really want to.
Please highlight.
Hold on, I want to give you guys some time here on the channel. So, anyone in the chat that would like to drop in on the panel, members are welcomed priority, of course. All right, continue.
But please highlight René Delgado's comment.
Okay, that's why I kept the Kents as white, as the same Kents that pick up Clark Kent, because the morality that the Kents show to Clark Kent, to Kal-El, are the main source of his way of life, of being Superman, of saving people, of taking care of whatever evil comes to harm other people. So the parents are the source of that. Clark Kent can be any color, but the message gotta be the same. And that morality from the parents is what I kind of want to keep. So you can change the color, but if you change the Kents, you destroy the character.
I don't know about that. I don't think morality is singularly held by any race. I think if you get a picture of Midwestern or even Southern type ethics, I think all those ideals you see, dare I say, just as prominently, if not more, across the entire area.
No, I didn't mean about being locked to a race. I
Mhm.
meant like
The
they are the
characters, they
source
have to
of
be
the
exactly the
morality.
same.
That
Yeah,
those are the
see-
characters you cannot change because they are the source of the thought on Superman. I need to save people. I need to help, and
Right.
those are the sources. It's
Okay,
like
really
if
fast,
you
guys.
change.
Really
Yeah.
fast. That 70s rock fan is going to join us. Black Philip
Yay.
Alvarez
Nice.
will get us next time. I'm looking forward to it. Black Philip and
See you soon, mijo.
Dark. Well, he's still going to hang out in the chat. He's just saying
Okay.
he's not coming on.
Yeah.
Dark Shadow Logan. I like the black fedora poly. Very stylish at Latino Slant. Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
And one of our general level, which is the highest level of membership here on the Latino Slant, that 70s rock fan.
Hola, hermano.
Hola,
Hey.
amigos.
Hey, what's up, brother?
How y'all doing?
Up, man?
I'm good.
Hey,
We've had a
just hang on,
great,
just getting a
great
little
chat.
drink here.
Yeah, nice.
Mm.
We've had a great. Oh my God, someone's drink. We've had a great. The first I say hour and a half was with. I don't know if you got to see our guest, but that was a lot of fun. And now we're going full on Latino Slant nerd. So
Well, yeah.
have at it, fellas.
It's downhill
Yeah,
all
man.
the way now that I'm here.
Yeah. Global Geek Gang extension there because you are a member.
Viva
Yes,
los
yes.
Santineros.
Yeah, I'm still
With
waiting
some-
for my
with some new people, so-
general's uniform in the mail poly. I haven't had my general's uniform yet.
That 70s rock fan. Have you been? Is this your first drink or your second?
No,
getting nice
yeah,
over there.
That was literally my first sip. So
Yeah,
cheers.
right.
Oh,
Getting nice
First
over
sip
there.
of that glass.
Nice,
Johnny Walker
nice.
Blue Label. Very nice.
hey,
Nice,
Just
brother.
Reg. I like that picture you got back there. I can't see it that well, but I know it's got some cool stuff on it. I was.
Oh, yeah,
I
I got it.
once before.
He left.
I gotta.
Well, I have a super chat that just came
Nice,
in. So let us
nice
get-
one.
let's get to that.
Super chat.
Cool stuff.
Thanks, man.
TC with a gift of $4.99. Hail Polly and crew. Why not make an icon movie? Milestone comic, basically
Yeah.
a black Superman and a cool character. And why no White Tiger?
Exactly.
Comma, Marvel. Let's have Reggie answer to that, and then Clobber and Times answer that, please.
So they basically restarted Milestone last year, and they're getting. I know they have a couple of Static Shock projects in the works.
Oh,
That's nice.
Yeah,
I love that character.
and I think they have some stuff in the works with hardware and Icon as well. But those things always take like 5 to 10 years to really get going. So I imagine they do have some talks, but we're still probably a ways off before them coming to light.
Yeah, you never know. Stuff like that.
Do you
Yeah,
guys
see-
ever saw the Static Shock cartoon?
Mhm.
It was
I
amazing.
remember it on TV when I was younger, but I never
yeah.
got into it.
Yeah,
No, it
that's
was-
one of
I
the reasons
remember.
I got introduced to it. So, because here in Peru we don't really have much of geek culture, like in the like DC and Marvel. Okay, unless you were born in basically in the 50s.
Oh,
If you're
wow.
from that generation, you got lucky because around the 60s, 70s they would bring the comics, but around the 80s because of the troubles
Yes,
we were
we
having,
did.
it's like cut it.
Yes.
So
Yes, we
basically-
old guys were luckier with the culture in some of those ways. You are correct, sir. But icon movie, of course. Again, get the right person involved in it. That could be really good with those milestone characters. And White Tiger, if I mentioned to you a couple times before, Paulie, it'd be cool to see him because you pretty much never see anything of him anymore. But he was the first Latino Marvel character, superhero, really, of sorts. And again, now if they would, I don't know if they would do it right, but it'd be more fitting to like a Netflix show, like the more of a street level character, because like Daredevil and those characters and stuff could work. If they don't, but right now I'm just worried about them screwing up Moonlight on there. But
Oh, Clovy, you know what they have screwed a lot on Tony Stark? His mother was Maria. She is not white. But in the MCU, they make her white.
Maria Hill, that's right. She's a lot better on the great cartoon Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. They got
Yes.
it right.
Oh,
Love that
right. Give me 1 second. I think I missed this super sticker. And Mr. Tickle Trunk, it's a like a little fox.
The Shiba Inu? The dog?
And he's farting hearts.
That is a dog, the Shiba Inu.
Oh, thank you. And my dog is going nuts. But for Mr. Tickle Trunk and for TC, let's play a little fun video for you. Yeah, it's time for a grito. So, all right, let's continue. We're talking comics, movies, stereotypes, race swapping, all that good
I had
stuff.
a question for you guys. I have a question.
Sure.
What about what do you guys think of expanding on the character of Miguel O'Hara?
I will
Spider-Man
love it.
2099.
I will love it. He was an amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
No pun intended, huh?
I want to hear from our guests first. Reggie, then Clobberin, por favor.
I'm in arms. I'm right just on the other side of my laptop over here. In a box, I have a stack of Spider-Man 2099 comics.
Nice.
That came out like in my peak era of collecting comics.
You got to show us, man.
Oh,
show
man.
us something, man. What you got on your wall, man?
Okay, fine.
What you got on your wall?
None on my wall. I mean, I actually have the comics.
Those are pictures of a lot of the old trade little paperbacks and stuff like that. I love
it's like copies of
picture.
Silver and Bronze Age comics.
Bronze Age, my favorite thing ever, silver and bronze. Beautiful.
Yeah, the camera's reversed here, so it's hard.
Is that
it's hard.
strategically put up so the kids won't get to them?
They get to them. If you see the edges are like all hanging off.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I have a 2.5-year-old, so nothing is safe here.
Well, it's right on top of the sofa, so you basically gave him a stepping stool. All he has to do is get something to get on the sofa, and he's there.
Yeah, well, he can climb. He can climb the sofa himself. He doesn't even need a prop for that.
Okay.
Let me just say hello to some
danger.
people in the chat. Mr. Tickle Trunk says, it's cool, Polly. Keep going. Shellback, TJC. Hail, Slantino. Hail. Hail. As Reggie Reggie is taking up the charge. And we got some respect for the comic wall. Respect for the comic wall. Black Philip Alvarez. That's rad. That is rad. He's gonna bring him out, Mr. Tickle, and $10. RC from the NYC with a regalito, and I know what he likes. We're gonna play. This is just for you, hombre. Me. Hi, Reggie. Romy says hi, Reggie.
Hey, Romy. How you doing?
Hello, Romy.
She just got back from an audition, so let's all wish her great positive vibes. Indeed. And you can look for her interview next week on Midnight Edge Español with Diego.
Yeah, we did it both in Spanish and in Portuguese.
Nice.
So enjoy it. Wow. Meanwhile, I'm working on the transcription of that whole thing.
I mean, how can you not love Diego, man? He's so cool. Hi, Romy.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying hi, sweetheart.
Hey.
Hi, guys.
Hola.
Okay.
So
get the comics.
Get the Spider-Man 2099, by the way. A lot of people don't know this. When all those years when Spider-Man films were in development hell because James Cameron was tying it all up, he wanted to do that more than he wanted to do the classic Spider-Man.
Well, Cameron's is sci-fi mostly. Like his thing has been sci-fi, so 2099 would be more on his side.
All right,
but
Reggie,
the whole point was to do the Peter Parker one. Then
is Reggie ready?
Yeah. Stay ready. Yeah, here's part of my collection of
there you go.
that's sexy.
1999. Back from 92.
Oh, slow down, slow down.
Oh my
You
god.
move too fast.
Let the people enjoy. Some of us have
Yeah.
never been able to see these.
Right.
Even.
You got to remember, this is an audience, an international audience you have. So,
Hey, Reggie,
as
I
I
gotta
said-
go get some. I
Hey
gotta
man,
go
you
get some lotion.
guys know
and
how to
clean
use
it.
the internet, okay? I'll just say that.
Exactly. There you go, man. These were
Right.
abundant supply to us. But
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is like
man.
the era of Marvel where it's like basically it doesn't exist in the minds of most people here.
Yes.
Ooh,
We
I
had
like
the
that one.
cartoon though.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Hey, Reggie, you
Yeah.
can just box those up and send them over here. Thanks, bud.
Right.
It's like
Yeah,
Reggie's like,
you really don't. You really need to slow the roll. You know. See, now you're part of you're part of the fandom, for better or for worse, Mocoso.
it's like
For better
one
for
of
worse,
us,
Mocoso.
one of us.
One of
One of us.
Yes, you are breaking your fandom chair here on the Latino Slant, everybody. Everybody. All right.
Yeah, Pablo, you said something earlier about
Hey, that's Sydney's rock fan.
Finally got that damn camera to work.
Look at
You'll
this
all
guy.
regret that now.
Nice.
Cheers.
Look at this handsome man. Let's check him out there.
And no crouch this time.
Cheers, brother.
Got
Look
the
at that
t-shirt.
shirt. I love that shirt.
Yeah. Hey, you'll like this even more. Hang on.
Oh, I know what he's getting. This is sweet. Yeah.
Nice.
Hey.
And you know what? It holds tea as well. It's incredible. It doesn't just look good.
Isn't that amazing? Who knew? Who knew?
Who knew?
Old wet stuff.
Well, yeah. No, I get the proper glass for that.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so
that's a
don't let
badass
Reg,
shirt,
those
man.
were fantastic comics, by the way. Fantastic. Beautiful, sir. Beautiful. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise, sir.
Reggie's a old buddy of mine for well, you know, not I mean, a good 10 years now.
Yeah.
And
Both when you were back in your 50s.
right. But yeah, what I'm excited is that we're gonna be able to start training again in person.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man, it's been too long. Where were we, Dieguito?
We're just mentioning the fact of the comics and the fact that like here we didn't get them and then we sort of got interrupted.
Reggie was saying something about.
Oh yeah. You're about the Kents. See, that was my one problem with Man of Steel. I know. My man Clobbering Times. My man Clobbering Times didn't like
I have a different title for it. Yeah.
But that was the one problem. With that movie. That movie was the beginning awesome. And everything that happens once he gets the suit is awesome. Just the Kents.
Yeah, Papa Kent is not Papa Kent. And that's exactly what I was saying. The Kents are the main focus of the morality of Superman. You have to keep them. Superman can be whatever, can be a dog. If the dog is, if the dog
that would be Super Dog.
and
That
he
would be
learns
Super Dog.
Crypto.
Yeah. Crypto. No, but actually, Clark Kent needs the Kent. That's the source of that impetus to save lives. And Papa Kent not being the real Papa Kent on that movie is a complete waste. He doesn't teach his son to save people. He
Hold
actually
on, guys.
tells.
Yep, we got a surprise.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, nice.
All right.
Nice surprise.
Hey,
everyone. Hey, Romy.
Romy.
Let me see. Hold on a second. Let me put the speaker on so you can hear it, baby.
Who am I talking with?
Hey, hello.
There you go.
Hi.
What's up, Romy?
Yeah, you can see
Diego.
us.
And I'm trying to see.
Reggie.
Oh, hi, Reggie. What's up? Hi, Pablo. Clobbering Times.
Hey.
Yes. Who
I'm
is that
Brian.
up there? That 70s rock fan. Hi.
Just call me Brian.
He's calling from the 70s. He has a time machine type thing.
I have, and yeah.
How deep is your love? How deep is your love?
Deep
I can't sing that high.
It's all right. I just wanted to say happy weekend, guys. Nice to see you guys. I am so ready to turn up when Paul's gone.
He did. He told us he was going to be here all night.
No. I'm
Yes,
going
he did.
to.
You promised.
Oh no, we lost our quarter.
I'll just get a little
East Coast represent, baby. East Coast represent.
Yeah.
RC. I'm going to see Mexican Iron Man tomorrow. I'm going up north for 2 days. We're hanging out.
Freedom for Rome.
Freedom.
All right, I'm gonna go and tend to a Scottish Terrier, but everyone, great to see your faces.
The best kind of terrier. The best kind.
I'm always busy. I just pop in, pop out. But I'd love to see you guys. And Reggie, it's great to see you, man. And all
Same
you guys.
here, Romy.
All right. You guys be
All
well.
right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Yeah. Best kind of dog is a giant schnauzer. Nobody's gonna divide me that one.
I will, but I don't want to get this panel on fire, so I won't.
Yeah, my blood pressure and my regard for.
Is
my
everyone
friend
okay?
Polly, my friend Polly makes me not want to talk about that topic, but you guys.
Tomorrow, the debut of the Romy Slant show. She's had plenty of those already.
Oh God.
Okay, so
I wanted to ask something about to all of you, because I don't know much about Superman like in the comics, because again, a hole in our history for us. Does Superman kill anybody before he kills Lex Luthor after the Flash thing, or no?
Yes.
Because that's because the Zod thing was so weird for me, because I know he didn't kill Zod, he just imprisoned him again. So when the Man of Steel happened and he killed Zod, it was like, that's not Superman.
Why?
Well, I can actually walk over and grab the comic book where he actually executes 3 like murderous Kryptonians.
You're talking about that burn issue, yeah. And DC later tried to change that because, of course, it's fundamentally wrong about for the character. It was that's the post-crisis version, so it's happened. It's not right for the character. It's wrong.
Exactly.
Superman has a code against killing. But Byrne kind of got put in his place over at the editorial staff. It was a big controversy. But I presume this was the one you're talking about, right? Where John Byrne had to kill the characters in the late 80s.
That was his last issue. And John Byrne's run is probably my favorite on the character.
My least favorite, most hated, but I hate until the later Screw 52, I mean.
Well, it's like early Batman. Early Batman used to have a gun.
Yes, and then he got an origin, and they changed that.
Exactly.
But yeah, there are earlier Superman comics where you could probably say, "Ooh, we killed that dude."
Yeah, because that's the only thing that I didn't process in my mind, because I knew Batman doesn't kill anybody no matter what, and I knew that Superman had the capacity, not only because of his strength, but if push come to shove, I knew he killed Lex Luthor and that whole instigated injustice and all that. I get that part. But it's
he killed the
like,
Joker on Injustice.
Oh no, he killed the Joker. Yes, he killed the Joker, and it's like, I get that, okay. But it's like, I always thought that basically also Superman was also there. He didn't believe in killing. It's just that at one point he was pushed to the edge, and so he just went with his instinct. Yeah. And so that's why when I saw he killing Zod in Zack Snyder's version, it's like,
yeah, it didn't work.
What do you mean? That wasn't Superman. That was just a guy with superpowers who was a mopey man. He didn't have any of Superman's intelligence or morality in that thing because of Snyder's edgelord stuff. So Superman's so smart he can find ways to use his powers to not kill, and he makes it. But Byrne actually, Dark Shadow Logan mentions it. That got reversed by DC because they didn't like doing that. But it's a code because Superman can't do it.
Yeah, they are back in the Phantom Zone. They are not dead.
They are. Remember? Yeah.
Yep.
There must have been times in the past, and forgive me because I'm not familiar with Superman comics since I was a kid. Obviously, seen every movie and lots of TV. There must have been inadvertent deaths.
Oh yeah, that happens, I guess.
Yeah, it's not that. Yeah, no deaths are unavoidable in the entire history of.
Doesn't he kill like Brainiac every single time, and basically just a backup that comes back?
Well, I don't know.
Because Brainiac can't die. Yeah, you cannot kill Brainiac.
I don't know if you guys have watched Superman 2 recently, but he doesn't throw Zod in the Phantom Zone in that movie yet.
No, he's not. That's not. No. The Lester version has a cut, but. It was originally filmed where those villains are taken off, with their powers are taken away, and they're taken away by police. They're not killed.
Yes.
But Richard Lester was such a ham-fisted and crap director after he took over from Donner that, yes, theatrical version, they fall down in this little crevice thing and you don't know what happened to them.
Well, we know that's the classic, movie death off screen. So
you can't see it though. I mean, they disappear immediately. You don't know how far that thing.
It's like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, that's the fact. You can't tell.
The good part of that kind of deaths is that you can bring back the villain whenever you want because you haven't seen him dead.
It's open-ended.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I mean, that's just it was filmed and then they.
That's not going like this, guys.
Well, you can watch the Donner
controversial.
cut. He was the original director. It's in there.
Yeah.
And the theatrical cut when Superman 2 went from theater to TV on ABC, it's in the theatrical cut as well. I mean the TV extended cut.
Hey, Paulie, we're
So,
playing sketch or something?
I'm taking my glove. We're gonna go. We're catching the Oakland A's baseball game tomorrow afternoon.
Viva los Atléticos!
Yeah. I'm gonna get a jersey, and I'm gonna not take my Dodger gear with me.
It's rough in that arena. That's a rough arena.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You're gonna not wear your Dodger stuff, dude?
No, I can't. Maybe Mexican Iron Man is hosting me. I can't. That's like it's American. It's American League. It's American League.
Wear it with pride.
I will give you a story so you understand. Here in
I'll wear a
Peru-
travel hat. I'll wear one of
No,
my
but I mean-
travel Dodger hats.
Okay, but I'm gonna give you a story. Here in Peru, there's a team, one of the teams, Universitario in soccer, right? They have one of the most dangerous, murderous groups of fans in our country, and I'm not kidding. Actually, gangers belong to La Trinchera Norte, as we call them. Okay, and I'm Brazilian also, so my team is Sao Paulo. Okay, because that's the city where I was born. So once for the Libertadores, they actually had a game here in Lima in the stadium of Universitario, and I was inside a sea of cream, okay, because that's their colors, with my white shirt with the three colors, black, white, and red, okay? In the middle of that, it's like, I might die today, but I don't care. We won.
You got to do it, yeah. Got to wear your
here
colors
we
with
have,
pride.
here we have El Barcelona. El Barcelona is kind of like that. You gotta run. When you see a Barcelonista, you gotta run. That's all.
Yeah.
You
I love football to that point.
I thought about traveling.
I wear
with
my hockey jersey everywhere, and nobody gives me any trouble. Dallas Stars jersey, wear it every ground, every hockey arena. No one's ever given me trouble.
You know what? If it was a national league,
Canada.
if it was a national league
in
game,
America, though.
Can you guys hear
Sorry,
me?
Paul.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just like talking over the top of you.
So you keep interrupting. Hey, hold on. I got something for you. So, like I was saying, I'm actually excited to get an Oakland A's jersey top. They're one of my favorite American League teams. Them and the Yankees. What can I say?
Dude, Paulie, I'm a huge A's fan, dude. That means a lot, brother.
Yeah. I mean, it's not at all good like the Giants. Hell no.
No.
Hell no.
The Giants are stuck up, prissy, snobby. Yeah. No Giants here. Sorry.
No, but we got great seats. So Mexican Ironman told me I better bring a glove, and this thing, all I got is this little thing, but it'll work. So Reggie's got to go, guys, and
I got to drop off too, mate. I got to go over to Foul Ball. I'm on his show tonight. So.
Yeah, I have to pop off too, man. So,
I have to root for the Yanks because it is that's Romy's team from the.
Come on, man. What's going on?
Romy's from New York. It's the Dodgers and it's the Yanks, and that's the way it is in this house.
No Red Sox.
Red Sox.
Slight geographical problem.
This guy can never come on my show.
No.
We're getting Astros fan.
As another Angelino sports fan here, no, we do not fool with any Boston teams at all.
No way.
No.
No Patriots, no Celtics, no Red Sox. No.
There you go.
Don't forget the Bruins. We
So-
don't need them.
Since everyone's going to be popping off, why don't we go around the panel and let us know what you're doing, where you're at, and we will say adios to everyone. But this has been wonderful, guys, and everyone in the chat. I hope you really enjoyed the 2.5 hours that we gave during Friday Night Tights. That's pretty impressive, man. I'm kind of blown away. So many great people that came by. It's pretty sick. All right, let's start off with the great 70s rock fan.
Thank you, my friend. Thanks for having me on. It was nice to meet those of you who I haven't met before. I do have a little channel, and I've uploaded a few new things in it recently. So if you get the chance, check it out. And I'm sure I'll catch you all on future chats and streams. Thank you. Have a good night.
The great clobbering times. Who was also a member of the channel. What are you doing the next? What are you doing online the next couple of days?
Oh, well, tomorrow night, the wonderful Raquel Briggs and I, of course, 9 p.m. Central, will continue our ongoing mission to review all of real Star Trek. We're in the 3rd season of the original series. We could do it all. And we've been having it's been blowing up over there. So much fun. So many great people join us in the chat. We're interactive with them when we review the episodes. So having a fantastic time. And then a great buddy of mine will join me Monday night, 8 p.m. Central, for Monday Night Mark C. Comics Talk. We're going to be reviewing the Amazon series, since it's just ended, Invincible, the animated series just ended, reviewing all 8 episodes of that. So, yeah.
Let me just remind people in the chat, don't leave. We have new closing credits that have all the members' names in there. Except for Rene Delgado. He's new. And... Oh, wait a minute. And Barely Chicano, what are you going to be up to the next day or two?
Hey, I just want to say thanks for having me on, Paulie. I appreciate it. I've been wanting to come on for a while, so hey, it's been a pleasure. And this is the Cold-Blooded Critic, and I have a slew of content in the works coming up. Of course, I review movies, music, and I'm going to be doing some food and drink reviews too, so that'll be interesting.
Orale.
And then, yeah, all things pop culture. Of course, I always pop off on the Wocosos. People seem to like that, so I'm going to keep on doing it. So, yeah, thanks for having me on. Viva Latino Slant.
Orale. And then my main dude, Reg, what do you got going on?
Weekend, man. I'm just actually writing on a couple of film projects this weekend, and that one of which I'll keep it, one part of it extra quiet, but one
just keep it private.
Yep. Very, very private. One of which I intend to shoot in a few months. So, yeah. So it's a busy weekend of creativity for me.
And where can people listen to your music? And actually, Reggie did a lunch table episode with Lorena Creo, so you guys should check that out as well.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love her. She's something.
Yeah. And Reggie, do you have a music page?
Yeah, you can find my music on Spotify and Bandcamp. If you just look up just Reggie on either of those, you'll find it. You'll find my stuff.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Thank
Gracias. Dieguito.
Okay. Well, you can find me on Twitter. Collaborating has already put it in the chat more than once. Thank you, Collaborating. Also, you can find me at Midnight Zed in Español. That we're starting next week with the whole celebration between Paulie Channel and also the channel and stuff. So you can see some of the interviews that me and Pablo have been doing, as well as Paulie. And during the weekend, I will be trying to finish the transcript to have it all ready for the Spanish and the Portuguese and also the English translations for everybody, so we can all understand.
Pablo.
Oh, well, I'm heading to Nick Weiser's just to ramble about the new Marvel designs.
Oh, yeah. Everyone get on over there after we close shop here.
Yep.
I'll be there with you, bro.
Thanks, man. Yeah, basically that. Tomorrow I have my regular show on my channel, Progressive Park. Yeah, we are coming hard with Minas Español, so please stay tuned and it will be a blast.
He's being really shy, but I just want to like put up check out who he interviewed. Actress Noemi Gonzalez.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Oh my.
It was amazing. That interview, I love it.
She's on season 1 and season 2 of Selena.
Yep. And
Good
she's
job.
amazing. She and the actor that does the father carry the show.
Yeah, they sure do. All right. Okay, so thanks everyone. Great surprise to have so many wonderful people coming and checking out the stream for the last couple of hours. And Rene Delgado, thank you for being a new member. And Hubba Hubba, yes, she's a beautiful lady. We will have that interview. So I want to thank everyone for coming on by. I want to thank the panelists, Director Kenneth Castillo. I want to thank también Brandon from the Daily Chela. Please, if you just only saw the second part of the stream, catch the first part. It's completely different, but it's for really good. So what's happening is starting Monday on Midnight's Edge on the big show, we're going to start promoting Midnight's Edge Espanol, which technically the channel is up, but you know, we'll have content, all that good stuff, and every day on Midnight's Edge or the Latino Slant or Midnight's Edge Espanol, we're going to have guests, live performances, all that good stuff. Wednesday night here on the Latino Slant, I will have English interviews with some of these guests that we were talking about. So, Cinco de Mayo, you guys have a great weekend. Thanks to the panel that stuck around. Thanks to to everyone that came on, that 70s rock fan and Barely Chicano, cold-blooded critic.
Orale.
Have a great night, everybody. And here's the closing credits. Be well, everyone.
Night to night.
Later, everyone.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. The slant.
Slant. All right, Paul, let's go.